So you guys have a little okay, awesome. So welcome. For those who are just signing in now, or if you're watching this on replay, welcome. Today we are, oops, sorry. Today we're going to be sketching in the Namibian desert in Africa, which I'm really excited about. So we're keeping along with this month's theme of Endangered, which kind of started as a sketchbook challenge this month. And there was like several different places that I didn't pick for the challenge that I'm excited. So one of them was the Namibian desert. So we get to sketch it in our Patreon instead, which I actually was really excited about this one. So we have some animals and a little bit of landscape in there, and we're just going to be fun and playful today. We have a little bit longer timers. Shorter timers are great for play, but longer timers are also good because it kind of allows you to work in, also allows you to, like, if you're taking a stab at it and you're like, I'm not really feeling what I'm doing, just turn the page and, start over again. Or work into what you have. So you can kind of like feel it out. But I would say today, like, the really important thing is to go with your gut. So when your gut like tells you to do something, just do it. So don't let that kind of fear come in, because the point is to fail. So if you kind of like let that fear come in too much, you might be in a really safe zone, but you might not learn as much. So if you are willing to do some not so great drawings, you're probably going to learn a few different tricks along the way. And then these are things that build over time and kind of come into your skill set, and you learn over time how to use them. So, I'm sure usually what happens is we do these sessions and we're like, the goal is to make like bad drawings, fail, all these kinds of things, come in with this mentality. And then we end up usually getting really frustrated in the process. I find that that's kind of typical because it's something you're not used to. So it feels a little bit uncomfortable. So know that you might feel that way, and don't give up, or maybe take a step back and come back. That's okay too. But don't totally give up if you can. And then usually at the end, there's like a different level of connection to your drawings. And then, maybe in 24 hours, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I really like what I was doing here. And it's just because you're not used to it. So that's the goal for today, is to like be a little bit uncomfortable, but embrace that fact, and then find some new things coming from it. So I'm working today with some of the watercolor, the Kuretake. Thank you, Katie, for this lovely. I saw Katie, you guys saw my last video that I saw Katie using this. I had seen it before and was interested in it, but I already had a watercolor palette, so I never really kind of dove in and bought this one. And I have like a partial review up, but I'm doing more of a full review this month where I talk more about it. But I'm going to play with this today. And then I have like everything else, from acrylic markers to pencils to gelatos to soft pastels and some other things. So we'll see whatever kind of comes up. And I think that's it. So we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, here, I see something in the chat. Let me pull that up here. Got it. Really curious, as I'm thinking about getting them too. Is that the watercolor set? Yeah. Yeah, they're good. I'm taking a little bit more time to get used to them. But the biggest thing that I've learned from them is that, to me, they're more like gouache than they are watercolor. And I don't know, Katie, you found the same?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because like I'm so used to using gouache, and like I know you went from watercolor to gouache, and I went from gouache to this like watercolor set. So it's like the perfect in between for me, because
Yeah.
I just felt like the opacity was what I wanted.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm finding too, because we both, use gouache very watery, I think, for the most
Yeah.
part. So I think if you use gouache watery, this like feels very much like that than it does like watercolor. But if you're used to watercolor, then you get to experiment with something that has a little bit more opacity to it and has this sort of ability to kind of build as well. But it gets that lovely movement that watercolor does. So it's really very interesting to me. And the other weird part to me is that it's not quite matte. It has like a little bit of a shine to it, but it hasn't been an issue to me. It's not super shiny, but it has like like, I don't know, I think it's probably what keeps it from cracking. My assumption is like whatever they're mixing with it that keeps it from like cracking in the pan, because gouache tends to do that more, is whatever kind of makes it have a little bit of a shinier surface when it's dried, which usually bothers me. So I've been really pleasantly surprised that that part hasn't bothered me very much. Very cool. All right. So sorry, we're going long into the talks in the beginning. Let me share my screen. Like I said, I'm a little tired today, so I'm a little slow, but we'll get up there. Okay. Do you guys see are you seeing the window with the, well, good, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Okay. So, we're starting with the pangolin today, and I was going to have like a write-up of each animal, but I was too tired this morning. So I'll just kind of do what I remember from memory. So again, today, so we're not just sketching the Namib Desert. I forgot to explain this part. We are doing a word roulette, a descriptive word roulette. So I've put a word on the screen, and they're descriptive words that are visual in nature. So I want you to try to incorporate the word into the way that you sketch it. So if you really just want to go about the way that you normally do it, that's totally fine. Anytime that you're drawing, you're practicing and learning. But if you're trying to push yourself, this is a good way to like give you a little inspiration. So if there's a word there, then it's like, okay, I'm going to try to sketch incorporating this word in, and we're all going to probably incorporate it differently, and feel it out differently. But that's the goal today, is to kind of like bring the word and the image together. And then you'll be pushing your style a little bit more as well. Okay, so we're going to do, this one is very quick. Everything else is a little bit longer, just as a way to warm up. So we have 5 minutes, and that's why I also use the word simple. So it'll help you kind of think about it more simply. So I'm starting my timer, and we'll get going. And I wasn't going to use paint for this because I'm going to turn the page. So I think I'm actually going to do something else. We'll see. Oh, I forgot to press record on my upper camera. Ooh. One mark in. That's okay. I didn't miss everything. I love these animals. So they are, this is like a critically endangered species. And I'm, if you guys know more about it than I do, feel free to chime in. But I think that they're like known for having, they're like highly traded illegally. And that's like a big part of the problem. So my assumption is that they're probably a little easy to capture or something. And then, yeah, they have some issues with in the illegal like animal trade world as well. So it's just like such a cool animal, I think. And I think they're hard to breed them in captivity. That's usually another reason why these animals become endangered as well, is that they're difficult to sort of recover in captivity. Oh my God, his face is so cute. I like the way he's just kind of staring back at you like, hey.
I love how tiny his head is compared to his body.
Yes.
So tiny.
Yeah, you're right. It's so funny. I'm like thinking of this word, and then I feel like I'm not totally incorporating it, but let's see. Maybe I can. I'll just take some warm-up time. My kids are exhausted too, and they just had to like run back to school today. Half awake.
I bet they had fun though.
Oh yeah, and we
I
had
loved
never
it.
been. It's kind of crazy. Like that's kind of why we did this, is that we had never really been to Disney, and it's, we live like hours away, so it's kind of crazy that we had never been. So I was like, okay, this is like a really good opportunity to do it, and everyone was excited about it. So okay, timing wise, we have about two 2 minutes left. And I think let's see. The one thing I'm still getting used to, I'm experimenting with the soft pastels a lot right now, and I really do like them. I feel like I'm getting more used to them, but my struggle right now is when you put something that's like really dry down, it's difficult to kind of go over it. Like colored pencils and stuff go over it, but like acrylic markers don't. And I'm used to being able to like layer things like that. So that's been kind of a learning curve, is like figuring out what can go over what. But this month has been good because it's just a little bit more play on that sense that I have that. I'm getting the time to figure it out a little bit more. Giving myself the time. I've always had the time. I just didn't always pick it.
I think like with like new materials and stuff, you kind of get used to the way you're working, and then when something you can't go over it how you normally would, it suddenly changes your process, which is always good.
Yeah. No, it definitely, and it's such a good, exercise to do to just kind of force yourself to change the way that you're working.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get set in something like, oh, that worked, because it's you spend so much time like trying to figure out what works that when you find it, it's like, oh my God. And then it can be difficult to like come out of that and be like,
to change it.
Yeah, let's purposefully change what. Okay, sorry I didn't give you guys a heads up, but this is your heads up, 10 seconds. That was 5 minutes. So we have a little pangolin. I'm going to turn my page and we'll move on to the next guy. And I did upload, I only picked one of each topic for today, but I did upload, I think, 2 images for most of the subjects today, at least 2. I might have even done more. So if you want to go back and like sketch certain subjects more or sketch them again, there was a couple more references up on Patreon for each one. Okay, so the zebra, I don't know why I picked the word hazy. So I'm kind of thinking like soft hazy, that sort of feel. And we're gonna set the timer for 15 minutes. And zebras are really difficult for me because of the all of the stripes. So I never really know how to approach it, but I know sometimes for me with these, if I kind of just come in with the shape a little bit more, then I can do the stripes like kind of afterward, I guess. If I just have like a general shape, it's maybe a little bit easier, but I just drew his head really big, so I don't even know if I'm going to get on his whole body. And I still feel like right now I'm going a little bit safe, so I want to remind myself that that's not what I'm here for today. Sometimes it just takes a little warming up, though. Okay. Oh yeah, I am going to run out of body space, but that's okay. I remember my first time drawing animals, it was like so difficult for me because I didn't really draw them much at first. Now I'm getting more used to them and really actually enjoying them. But I didn't draw them much. So it was like, just like the joints and the legs, like I'm still like a little bit of anatomy would probably help, but it's just, I try to think like, okay, this is just a line. Where's this line going? And then hopefully it doesn't look really weird at the end. All right, I'm gonna go a little crazy with this guy. What color? Because I don't have black. That was the other thing that's like limiting about this set. That I'll talk more about is like not having a black or a white, but maybe that can be, more of a inspiration. You find that too, Katie, that the like
Yeah, especially the white I found.
yeah.
Because I always try and like lighten my colors, less so with the black, but I
Yeah.
tended to like have my tube of gouache white to mix in, which mixes fine, but like maybe it would be good to actually limit that and do it
Yes.
as a challenge rather than a
Yeah. No, and then I think that they have like sort of a creamy color, but it's too yellow to really use as a
yeah.
white.
I really like the red, like the orange red shade, because like that's not one that I usually use in my palette, and when I like my usual colors, so when I got that, it's actually a really nice color for like pops of contrast. So that
Yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah, it's like it is one that I'm used to from I had one like that in my watercolor palette. It's like I think it was like transparent red oxide or something like that, if I remember correctly, from my watercolor palette. But it's like burnt sienna, but just like a little bit more ready
Yeah.
color. What color did I just grab? I just filled my brush with a color and I was like, I don't know which one my memory is like escaping me.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, let's just see what happens when I put this down because I forgot. I love these desert colors though. They're so, so pretty. I was like, this is going to be fun to use this palette because desert colors are pretty. Woo. Oh my gosh, the stripes too. It's like trying to get the movement in, but not I can get like so caught up with them and then get confused.
Yeah, it's like an optical illusion.
Yeah. Like, what is happening? Okay. And then the stripes on the face, they get so small. It's like, I really don't know what's happening up here. Okay.
Well, it's a good job you sharpened your pencils.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
If you can believe this, I'm actually, because I was like, I normally do the stripes with pencil, so I'm doing it with paint.
Oh, cool.
Which, well, we will see. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's
I've gone
gonna be
with
different.
pencil.
Yeah. And it has like actually has like a really red nose. That's kind of cool. Oh, goodness. And then I'm like, oh, the word. You have to not just draw, but think about this word. That's okay. This will be fun. That might be layer 2 more, a little bit too. Okay. What time are we at? 8 minutes. So we're like halfway through. feel like with these paints too that I feel like there's enough colors that I don't have to mix much. Like I can do more of that mixing on the page, which is also really nice little bonus there.
I'm gonna get mine out now. You can inspire me.
Yay! Oh, this will be fun.
Although like when you get it and you unpack it and it looks like all the colors are perfect.
Yeah.
And like I've been using it and like I've put some green in the cream color and I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep this pristine.
Not. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No. And then and when I pick up my brush, it just splatters all over the thing. So
yeah,
it's like it's definitely a hot mess. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself just for a minute because I'm about to use my little dryer thing. So I don't want to like where's my controls on my screen? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be back. Okay. This does take a bit longer to dry too. It must be whatever they put in it again that makes it not that makes the Kuretake paints not crack, even though they're more gouache like. That makes them a little bit slower drying because I can definitely feel that when I'm drying on that. I was like, okay, this is not as fast as gouache.
I think that was the hardest thing for me to get used to was to having to stop and wait for it to dry before I can then add all my details.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely one that it just takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really like clear why. It's got to be, I guess, the whole fact that it's let me use a different material here. The fact that it's whatever they're putting in it, that's my assumption. That makes it.
Is it not? I presumed it was just because it was like watercolory. Is it not the same with other watercolors?
I would say watercolor dries.
Okay.
Watercolor dries a lot faster. Even to me, it dries faster than I mean, it depends on how much water, of course, you're adding in. But no, watercolor can dry really fast. So I think it's definitely more the whatever it is that they're putting in it that makes it a little bit like have like the opacity and not crack in the pan. Maybe it's like something that's kind of like plasticky, I guess, if that makes sense. That makes it a little bit slower. Okay. Thinking about being hazy. Hazy. A little bit more. This is where soft pastels, I guess, can come in. I need to think, what is the way that I can do this? Time check. We have 2 minutes. So I'm missing a pencil. There we go. There's still a little bit of time. Oh, I forgot this little puff of hair in his head. That's cute. You guys see that? That little splurt of
Thanks
hair.
for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me.
That's why I'm it's like when you see something, you're like, I'm sure somebody else missed this too. Here we go. Let me see. Oh yeah, this brings a little bit more. I feel like I'm getting some more, I'm going to call this like Shivam textures going on now that I'm using soft pastels. If you guys know, Shivam, he just opened a Patreon, which is awesome. He has like these just really amazing textures to his work. And I've always been like, how does he do that? And I do think he uses like soft pastels because sometimes lately I'm like, this feels like very, like I'm channeling a little Shivam, which is awesome because his work is like, it's amazing and very inspiring.
I'm so humbled by this one.
Ooh. The other thing that I like about the soft pastels, oh, by the way, we have about 10 seconds left, is that more timer's going on. We could like get a little fluff time. I like the soft pastels because I can use an eraser, which I don't usually get to use that much as a tool, you know. But like the way the eraser will move the soft pastels, it's just like a different way of mark making, which I'm enjoying a little bit. Okay. Zebra. Hazy zebra. I definitely tried some things that I would not have typically done on this one. So that was kind of fun. All right. Let's see. I still want to get a little bit more wild though. I'm feeling it. Feeling it today. Okay. I'm going to turn my page. I have to put my little sheets of trace paper between the pages because everything I use now feels like it smudges a lot between the soft pastels and everything else. Okay, now let's see. On to the next. I think this is another, oops, not a blue. Okay, so very interesting word. I thought this was a good one. So we have the African wild dogs, which are actually, I think they're less related to dogs than they are another animal. And I forget which one because my brain is half functioning, but I remember reading about this. Maybe they're more related to like a lion. I don't know. somebody will write in the comments at some point after doing this video. They're more related to this. But we're going to do these for 15 minutes and use the word distorted. So whatever that feels like to you. Ready, go. And you can just do one of them, or you can do multiple ones. I am just so attracted to their huge ears that I'm going to go from there of the one up front, because maybe it's because I was just in Disney World, but it's like, this is like seriously like Mickey Mouse ears. If you've ever, everyone knows the mouse for the most part, I think. But I just love their ears.
It definitely just looks like he's wearing like a Disney headband.
Yeah. They have these at our local zoo. They have African wild dogs here in Miami. And they are the most fun animal to watch, because unless when you go in like the heat of a summer day, they're sleeping just like every other animal. But they, oh my God, literally what I have on my paper right now, it looks exactly like a mouse. I'm like dying. I almost just want to keep it. But I guess I'm going with the theme of distorted. Anyway, so like they're the most fun animals to watch, I think, because they just would like run around all the time. And we had babies not that long ago. They had babies, and I think they got, once they grew up, I think they've now left and gone to a different zoo. But yeah, they're just cool animals. Oh my God. I'm so laughing at this. I think I'm gonna stop at the time lapse and just let it sit when I edit this at this moment right now, because I don't think there's much of any coming back from this. This is definitely a do.
Were you at Disney with like the bear spotting yesterday?
With the what?
Bear spotting?
There was a bear spotting at Disney yesterday?
Yeah, they like closed parts of the park because I guess there's a black bear.
What? No. So yesterday we actually traveled back. So, oh my God, that's crazy. We did not.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that had happened. I'm going to have to text my friend. Yeah, they have like a lot of natural area around the parks and everything, so that kind of makes sense that there would be a bear, but crazy that so they had to like close everything down.
I don't know, I guess I just saw some people posting about some of the rides and like areas were closed, but nobody knew why, because they weren't obviously telling people like there's a bear that they're trying to capture. I need to text my friend because she works there.
Oh yeah,
find out the details.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we don't like have a lot of I mean, we do have them in Florida, but like they're, it's not quite as common. And I think up there maybe it's more common than it is down here in Miami. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm definitely gonna have to like look into that, because
I don't know where it would have
we just missed.
I mean, I went to UCF, so like I lived in Orlando for like 6 years, and I've never seen a bear.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I would imagine it being something that like only if you're out in the Everglades,
Yeah.
I can't imagine them being like by a park, but I guess it also makes sense because of there's food there. And
yeah, that's true.
my painted dog is still, he's funny. He's definitely calling for me to paint him because of his name. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring, although the painting is kind of turning out wild here. Yeah, we had never been, and we did like all 4 parks, and my kids like absolutely were obsessed with this ride called Guardians of the Galaxy, which I guess is kind of relatively new. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
have you been on it?
No, I haven't. But wow, all 4 parks, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like that must have been you, that's a lot of energy.
Yes. We walked close to like I think over 10 miles a day. It was wild.
Jeez.
And my kids are a little bit older, so we didn't have to like push them in strollers or anything, but I do have an 8-year-old and he was pretty tired.
Yeah.
He was definitely pretty tired, but oh my gosh, I'm like dying right now looking at this. I'm almost looking at it going, what do I do now at my painted dog? He's just like splotches of colors with a big old mouse face, but I think that was the point. So okay, I'm gonna go with it, and then I'm gonna draw these guys in the background with their big ears too, because they're cute. Yeah, we did the parks, and then we didn't stay on Disney property, but it's really nice because they have like a lot of ways to get around if you even if you're not like staying on the property. There's a lot of shuttles and stuff like that. So we kind of did that whole thing and it was a lot of fun. I'm tired. My kids like they like the thrill rides a lot too. So I think like every year I can tell that I'm like approaching 40 and I can tell that my ability to handle extreme movement is less and less and less every year. So I'm trying to like get it in while I can. That's my goal, because I'm like, I think next year I might not be able to handle this, but I just don't know. The one that gets me is all the like the video screens, which it's like that's not going anywhere. It's just more and more and more of that. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Like, that there's like all these, screens like incorporated into the rides, and it just like gives you these really crazy sensations and all this fun stuff. But it's difficult, man. Like messing with my senses and I think they're gonna have to make like an age. I was laughing with my friend. I was like, they're gonna have to have like an age, like you can't be over this age or you will probably vomit. Just from. By the way, we have about 7 minutes left. So as you're kind of working in, keep that in mind. So Katie, my friend that I went with she's actually from the UK. She lives here in Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But she was
cool.
telling me like that it's like maybe not normal, but like a lot of people from the UK come to Disney for like weeks, I guess, or a week at a time, as like a holiday vacation or whatever. And I was just like, I cannot imagine being at Disney for like more than 3, like, and there's so much to see, but I mean, man, like weeks.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
so exhausting.
But, like I think because like it's such a like big thing, like people want to try and make the most of it, and if they're making that journey then they'll try and like go for at least a week.
Yeah,
but it must be so tiring.
Yeah. No, I feel the same. I think like I think you have to make the most of it, but then oh my goodness, I guess then you probably just do like half days at a park, and then spend more time at the hotel.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing though. Like loads of people do their big holidays there.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it differently. Like, but obviously if you're nearby, then it's a totally different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of my patrons was sending me a message that she she lives that around like a few hours away from Yellowstone, and so she has like a similar experience to me, but us with Disney and then with Yellowstone, where it's like you're close by but you never really go, but then like you're always trying to avoid the tourists and all these things. but yeah, it was I was like, I think I'd rather have Yellowstone than Disney. But my kids feel the opposite. I'm like, oh my
Of
gosh, that
course.
sounds
Yeah.
magic. And the other crazy thing to me is that how much like control that they have um over the area. So it's like, I mean, like everything when you're driving around and stuff, it's just like really well designed and well done. And they have the gondolas. It's like they just own everything in this like one huge area, you know, and like you're managing this whole like ecosystem. Like I remember we drove by, it was like a Disney police station and fire station and stuff. It's like,
wow.
it's like everything is Disney. The mouse is everywhere.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mute myself again here, but I want to give you guys a time check. So we have about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And I'm going to mute myself and I'll be back. I almost forgot to unmute myself. I almost forgot to unmute myself so I could come back. I'm adding a lot more colors into these guys than I see when it comes on. Oh, goodness. Need a pencil sharpening. Okay, we have about 1 minute. So do something crazy if you haven't done it yet. Do something distorted. A little bit wild. Don't be afraid of it. Just get crazy. I probably need to say this more to myself. It's funny because I tried to like over exaggerate the ears and now I feel like they're about accurate. Okay. I think that like distinctive band on their head too is seems like a bold. Okay. All right. That was the timer. Just went off. We have some distorted dogs. Oh, yes. Mine is a mouse dog. But kind of cute. I'll take it. All right. What do we have next? Let's see. I think I want to. Maybe I'll actually. Are they getting funny? I'm hearing laughter. Oh boy. I can't wait to see these distorted dogs. Okay. Oh, this one should be fun. I'm actually going to get out my other sketchbook for this. I'm playing on that stone paper sketchbook a little bit, and it is really nice. I think the fact that I can't really go super with like really wet mediums on it is kind of an issue for me. But if I think about it like an acrylic marker sketchbook, then it's really, really lovely. Has anybody else tried the stone paper before?
No, but I'm very, very curious.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's like it's almost like a vinyl. It feels like a very, very soft, almost like vellum, I guess maybe is the comparison, but it's not transparent. But it feels like that, and it just performs very, very well with the acrylic markers, but not with watercolors. It'll go on. The watercolors go on fine. They just do not dry like at all. And then my little heat gun experiment did not work out. I was like, it's melting. No. Okay, so I didn't start the timer, so I'm going to start it now. We got 20 minutes on this. Geometric. So what am I going to do for that? Maybe I will take out my acrylic markers. Maybe I'll do some, yeah, we'll see. This is very difficult to decide. I do kind of also like with the soft pastels, it's almost like you can sketch and then wipe away. Not like completely, but it's like I feel like it's a little bit more malleable than some of the other mediums maybe that I typically use, which is good and bad because I like things that force me to be kind of just, well, whatever you did, you have to commit to. But at the same time, it's like I can kind of think through something as I'm putting it down. So I can kind of like do and think and kind of do it from there. Katie, you use soft pastels, right?
Yeah. I really like that you can like
sorry.
Less so.
Yeah.
I prefer like the pan pastels.
Yeah.
But what I like is how you can use an eraser and rub
Yes.
into it as well.
Yes.
I think that's a really cool technique that I want to like explore more of.
Yes. Yeah, no, the eraser, like it makes some really funky marks, and especially like me, my eraser is filthy because it's full of pastel. So even like then too, when I put it down, it's like you're getting other colors, and it's like I don't know, it allows you to get some really interesting things going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I really like the sticks, but I have to really get in that like messy phase because it's so much about like smudging and like I think the textures, and like I know you mentioned Shazam earlier, but I think like the textures are so unique that you can't really replicate it with other materials, which is really cool.
Yes.
And I found that with the pan pastel as well. Like, even compared to the sticks, I find that the pan pastel gives a different, because it's so soft and you have to apply it differently, it doesn't even look the same as just the sticks, because you're not getting that, like, you know, when you put down a mark with the stick and then you blend it out, whereas with the pan pastel you don't get that mark, so it's a lot softer.
Yes. I do.
So yeah, really cool.
Yeah. No, it is. They're really interesting mediums, and I think that all of the flexibility, I think it does. It makes it usable in a, you know, like more interesting in a different way.
Yeah.
I picked these words and I was like, oh, these look fun. And now I'm like, why did I pick that word?
I always find that when I pick references and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did I pick that? Yeah.
I know, it's like you think, oh, you know, if you're picking the references, you're gonna like find them easy because there's like a bias, you know, like you wanted it and stuff, but no, you just never really know what you're doing. At least that's me.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Not alone. That's why it's so good to just have like be a part of a Patreon or some sort of group where somebody else is picking the references too, because it's just like you get to. I'm trying to do this geometric. Maybe I need to think differently. I'm thinking about like the different ways of doing this word. Like, is it in the way that I simplify the shapes, or is it in like detail marks being, you know, like, okay, there's a couple different ways I could do this, but it's difficult to almost like to decide. But that's where we are. We can experiment here. Yeah, the one that gets me with the soft pastels is I try to put like gelatos or acrylic markers over it. Maybe the acrylic markers they're a little bit better than the gelatos, but yeah, it's just there's not a lot. I don't have a lot of colors, so when I want to put something over it, oftentimes I have to grab a different medium, and just the dryness of the pastels, it really messes with a lot of the stuff. And sometimes it's cool because it makes like a different texture, but also it's like, what was that?
Yeah, I think I've used like the Posca over the like pan pastels, and it like obviously it's putting that onto the nib, so it doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So I have to remember not to do it that way.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna change material and think different here. What can I try? I do also really like the way the gelatos are on this on the stone paper, because they have they just really blend out like with your fingers really easily on this paper because it's so smooth. And yeah, it's just like it's really nice because you can get like a really very big range of, you know, when the texture, like right when you put it down, and then the blended texture. But I'm still like really sad because every time I use these, I'm like, this could be the last. Don't leave me. The gelatos do not play well with the soft pastels on this. No. it definitely dries them out.
Do you find that like with the stone paper then that the materials are like sitting on top
So
rather
yes,
than like sinking in?
Yes, absolutely. And that, I think that's why the water mediums don't do as well, because they don't soak in at all. But because it's so smooth, I don't know, it's like it's kind of a good problem. I don't know. It works really nicely that they don't sink in, because you can move it around a lot. But I think that it also kind of causes some problems because the paper doesn't like grab a hold as it does with a lot of other mediums. So like when I use Neocolor on it, or anything that's like water soluble, right when you add just a little bit of water to it, it was like it dissolves, completely. And I like what happens when the paper grabs like pigment and a little bit of the material. So I think that you get a little bit more interesting texture maybe with paper versus this is like so smooth. But
yeah.
Okay, let me see about and then the other part is with pencil. It goes down smooth on it, but if you press too hard, like in a line, it will like indent the paper, which, paper doesn't do that, but it's like if you're drawing on plastic, how like imagine the plastic, like bending a little bit with like something that's sharp. And I noticed that with the pencil that it will kind of like not handle it well if you're not kind of using it a little bit like lighter and a little bit more smooth, I guess. Okay, geometric. Let me think this through.
Do you have any other sketchbook recommendations that are like the Royal Talons, but better with wet materials, like has a little bit more grip than Royal Talons?
Yeah.
I was looking up about like Arteza on Amazon. There's like a huge sketchbook. I think it has like 100 something pages. And it's like thick. And it looks like the paper's a little bit thicker and it's the same price.
Yeah, I think that my trouble is like sometimes if you go thick, it doesn't always perform as well when it's thicker because, like then if it absorbs too fast, So like that's what I have. The Strathmore 500 series mixed media sketchbook, I would say is like a really beautiful sketchbook. Katie, I know that you've worked with that one and you don't have like great availability, right, in the UK with that one.
I had to get that over there. In the US.
It is a nice sketchbook and it does have thicker paper and it performs pretty well with mixed media. I find that like watercolor papers don't work for me well with mixed media. So I try to do like a paper that has more wood pulp. I don't know that it's a wood pulp rather than cotton. Like the wood pulp maybe gives a little bit of resistance that you need. Versus like the cotton, it soaks in too much. But even when I was working with watercolor, I didn't like 100% cotton. I like it for certain things, but I actually still preferred like a wood pulp because I liked the way that when something sat at the top a little bit, it like gave it more opportunity to move. I would say that you could look at the Strathmore, like look at mixed media papers, and then go for like definitely hot press versus cold. If you're doing something like that's it. Sometimes for me, Etcher makes like a hot press watercolor sketchbook, and when I use, they have one that's not 100% cotton. That's just like a watercolor paper. And I do like that one, but it's like a little bit more expensive. So it always is like a give and take, because I just, sometimes for me, when it's too expensive, I don't, I'm too precious with it, you know?
Yeah, it's like you don't want to use it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about the Royal Talons, but I like, since I'm using mostly watercolor, it's just not the best for it. I think I'm just using too much water on it, but
yeah,
and I think it's just a little bit too smooth for me.
Yeah. No, I know. I think you could try, Moleskine has a watercolor album. Not their, they have a mixed media one, which is also one to try, but it's very smooth. So if you like a little bit more tooth, they have a watercolor one that has, it's more like a cold press paper. It might, to me, I loved it for watercolor. When I was doing all my watercolor stuff before, that's the one I use because it's cheap. It's a little bit cheaper. The paper feels a little bit thinner, but it's not too thin. And that one, you could try that one. And it's Moleskine's watercolor, and it has a little bit more tooth to it if you're using watercolor. I just found for me with that one, when I started bringing in mixed media, like it was a little difficult with pencils, because it just had like a little too much grit. But if you don't use a lot of pencil, if you're like really more with paint, that one is probably, I would say try that one for sure.
It's hard to find the perfect one.
I know. But it's like the adventure of trying another sketchbook.
Yeah.
I know. For me, I think Royal Talons is still, it's as close as I can get. But I think if I was using watercolor, that would be a hard one, because it doesn't perform as well with watercolor.
Yeah.
But it performs well. Have you ever used gouache or something like more gouache-like?
I have, just not in a while. But I mean, I just ordered that new, like the palette that you're using.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm excited to test that out.
I think you're gonna like this one on the Royal Talons. I like the way that this one performs on the Royal Talons, because it sits on it a little bit more. And it doesn't, like the watercolor, it didn't have a nice granulation to it, and it, like, I don't know, it doesn't perform that great on it like loses vibrancy too, I would say. But this one, because it sits on it a little bit more with the opacity, it keeps the vibrancy. So maybe try this one with the Kuretake with the Royal Talons, and then see if it works.
Yeah, I'm excited for that to come.
Geometric. Okay. I still keep having to force myself to think, like, how do I make this more geometric? But it's definitely making me put marks down differently than I would have. So You know how you're looking at it and you're like, you don't mind it, but it's kind of keeping you from playing with it more because it's like, okay, I don't mind this, but I don't really love it, you know? But I'm like, I'm looking at it going, what do I do? You know? So I just want to, it's like my brain has lost the ability to be a little bit bold right now. And then I can do something crazy. That's okay. I know, use my eraser. There we go. I was debating whether or not to do the one with the water and the one that was dry. But I kind of felt like this one with the theme is a little bit more interesting. Okay, you guys are going to kill me, but I didn't give you a warning. So I'm going to give you an extra minute because our timer just went off. I know. I'm so terrible at keeping track of time. I need a reminder for my reminders. One more minute. I'm sorry. By the way, if you guys ever have like questions, like just even general things that you want to ask about sketchbooks or even just about like life, art stuff, always happy to answer that and chat about it. So if something comes to mind, you can ask away. All right. Okay, that's the timer. I'm going to, oh, I'm seeing something in the chat. I'm seeing here from Chris, this might have been a little bit ago, yeah, when we were talking about sketchbooks. I got a Claire Fontaine paint on a sketchbook, which is really nice but pricey, so I keep going back to the Royal Talons. It's like I need to get better to use it, which is silly, but I guess we all are like that a lot of the time. Yeah, 100%. No, I know it's hard with the expensive sketchbooks. It definitely is. It's a mindset thing, and it is so important to have that open mindset that if you have to get a cheaper sketchbook just to build your skills, you can be really great. I mean, we all like see these beautiful work in Royal Talons, so it's like, to me, it's like, okay, like you can do great things in a Royal Talons. It's not the sketchbook limiting me. It's just the technique I'm using in this sketchbook. So then it's just about kind of playing with it that way. Okay. Or sometimes with certain materials, you can just feel it. Like you said, the watercolor is not, it just doesn't work as well. So if you know you're going to use that medium, then I'm working with a sketchbook for that particular one that you're enjoying using at the time. Okay. So I have one more after this. Yep. Okay. And so I'm going to actually reduce the time on these to fit it in and not go too far over. So we're going to do 10 minutes on the lions and then 10 minutes on the rhino at the end. So I know, a weird word. So we've got swirly for the lions. And I'm going to start the timer now. We might do 15 minutes on the last one. We'll see. But we're going to do some swirly lines, whatever that means. I'm going to go back to paint, I think. But I think I might get in a little bit of line work on these guys. Actually. I feel like lions always look so serene, but whenever I draw them, they just don't feel like they have the look to them. And sometimes it's like one of those things that I always wonder, like if you go to school in like illustration or like storybook writing, if you kind of learn about how to make facial expression, like what you're looking at that makes an animal look a certain way or a person or something. Because I feel like, how do you make it look like that, you know? And it's not, I think there's probably like a little bit just about like more observation, but I also think that there's something else to it. So if anybody has hints for how to make an animal look serene, I'm all on it. Maybe it's in the eyes. I don't know. Okay, I have to move a little bit faster with this one because time-wise, we have a little bit less time than we've had on the other ones. And I'm reminding everybody else of that too. We have a little bit less time than we're used to. Okay. Okay, I've got some lions now. I want to incorporate swirly. Let's see. What is that going to be? Okay, I have to mute myself again. I'm gonna, oh, I see something in the chat. Have to dash off, TJ, but thanks for a fun session. Love the references. Oh, bye, Katie. I think she left. Okay, I'm gonna mute and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so how are you guys incorporating swirly in? Questions. Are you guys doing it in like the landscape and like mark making, or anybody incorporating it in like, I don't know, in other ways? Quiet.
And lion's manes.
Ah, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, and like the way that their fur moves. That's a good idea. I like that. This is interesting. Okay, we have about 1 minute left on the swirlies. Okay. And oh, all right. Okay, that was fun. Got some sort of swirly lines. I don't know. That one was hard for me. I think I actually like looked at this image and I was like, oh, this would be a great one for that. But I feel like I got to take another stab at it, or I'll get inspired seeing what you guys do, and we'll get some different ideas, because I think my mind is a little fried today. That's okay. Okay, so on to the last one of the day. And this one's fun because the word and the image are very contradictory. So it really forces you to kind of think differently. Okay, I see. How did you come up with that combo swirly? So it's actually kind of funny because my kids were helping me come up with words, and it was my youngest who came up with the word swirly. And at first I was like, is that a word? And then I was like, it definitely gives me a visual image. So I was like, all right, we're using it. So that's how swirly came. And I don't know, I saw the line one and I was like, yeah, that's swirly. Okay, I have no creativity in me this morning. Whenever I try, I only get regular animals. I think we're on the same page. I feel more safe than I want to be. But we have one more left. So maybe we use this one as an opportunity to just go crazy. All right. I feel ya. Sometimes I think you do need energy to be creative. So if you're tired or anything like that, or just brain tired, it's not, sometimes the going back to the regular stuff is easier. Or it's just something the only thing you can do is just go to what you normally do when you're tired, which is fine too. Okay, so we have 15 minutes on this one. Let's see, it's 9:25, so let's actually do 10 minutes. And this is colorful. So obviously I'm going to start the timer now. The image is not colorful, so this is kind of a forcing you to go outside of your, I guess, comfort zone here, and maybe push color a little bit more. So I immediately just grabbed a pencil that I normally don't do outlines with, a royal blue pencil. And that's going to hopefully help me just start off with some color. And then I'm going to just go straight to some crazy paint here. Because what do we have to lose? We're at the end of the session. We can go wild. He's going to be purple and gold and all these other colors. The only thing I'm thinking about, which is like a little bit of a guiding force, I guess, with this is the value of the colors. So I'm trying not to think what color I put down, but maybe if I'm going to think about something, it's just the value of the color that I put down. Maybe that'll help me make a semi-recognizable rhino if I can get his value somewhat correct, because his color is going to be wild. And pink. Oh yeah. That's the other thing I do kind of like about this this paint here, is that like with watercolor you don't really have much room to mess with things, but when you're using more of a gouache, you can still like reactivate it, but you can also kind of go over and mess and like rework some edges. Like I'm getting a little bit of a cauliflower here, but I'm okay with that. What other colors do I want to use? What other colors have I not grabbed today? Is anybody else using paint?
I feel like he's turning out more distorted than my distorted one.
That's good. Maybe because we're loosening up.
Maybe his body is just so weird.
Yeah. No, I thought he would be kind of a cool, not that hard shape to draw, but it is actually. He has a very weird shape to him. I think you're right. Like the face is very abnormal. Like
Yeah,
everything about the face. It's like not a shape that you do.
Looks a bit sleepy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's and the I can't, yeah.
Morning coffee.
Yeah. I feel like it looks like a cow. I don't think it's supposed to look like a cow. That's okay. Wow, but I'm getting some crazy watercolor movement here. That's kind of fun. Okay, we have a little over 5 minutes. I'm going to mute myself again while I try to dry this really quick. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm just adding in a little bit more color in my line. We're trying to go away again from the normal ones that I use. And I'm trying to make him smile also because I think that would be cute if he smiled. In the, let's see here, 3 minutes. What more color? Lots. I'm definitely doing things that I would not have done before. We'll put it that way. That's for sure. It's definitely more colorful than gray. We'll put it that way. My okay, we have about a minute and a half. No panic. Only fun. I guess he looks like a rhino. I don't know. They're harder than I thought to draw. I have these wonky little, and they have those nose holes up front. It's kind of funny. Wonky little like chin areas. All right. Rhino. And 23 seconds left. So get in there if you haven't done any crazy colorful marks. Get in there and be a little wild. Let's see. And stop. Okay. That was wild. Hopefully you guys had some fun. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Being a little bit crazy today, and oh, I'm going to stop recording up here too. Stop. Okay. And going out of your comfort zone and maybe sketching things a little bit differently, or if you felt a little tired like me today, the win will be having just a couple moments of letting loose and going wild, because it's a little bit difficult when you're tired to be super creative, but I definitely had a couple of those today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to share, anybody who wants to, and get to see what other people did. I love this part because we get to, for me, it's like great because it just gives me all these ideas. And I feel like after these sessions, I'm like so inspired to, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I'm also like mentally noting everything in my mind, because it's just really fun to see what you guys all do. And it gives me so many different ideas, and it's really inspiring. So I'm going to take notes here of who would like to share today. So if you want to share, you can go ahead and raise your hand and I will put you down. Okay, I see Haley, Genevieve. Let's see here. Valerie. Hi, Valerie. I see Kiki. Hi, Kiki. Okay, I think that's it for now. And then if you decide that you want to share after this, go ahead and let me know. I'll ask again after we get through everybody here. And then of course I will share at the end too. Okay. All right. So Haley, you're up.
Oh gosh.
How did it go for you?
There's the zebra I like. The rest are a little rough.
They're a little rough, yeah.
So this
Aww.
the simple
one. That is really cute. I like how you kept it just like simple line work. Oh my gosh, that zebra. And you absolutely captured a hazy feel. I love that.
Yeah, I felt like that was a good one with watercolor because you can like
make it
mix
soft.
it together.
Yeah. Oh wow. Look at that cute face.
The little
He is so cute.
His eyes are a little crazy.
I
and
love
then,
it. They do. They look like mice on dog bodies.
yeah,
It's so
here's
funny.
the
Oh yeah,
geometric. I was just using like uh
just a
this
flat brush.
brush.
Oh, that
Like,
makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Use a flat brush. Yeah, and it's nice because your
But
marks
then,
are very simplified too, you know?
yeah, then the lion went through the paper.
Oh,
So this is the swirly,
I love that.
and then
it's like a little girly
this
baby.
is what kind of bled through. That's
Oh, yeah, it's
what I
just
mean about like I used to like water.
yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. On the
And
Royal
then
Talons, when you use a lot of water, it'll dig
okay,
through. Oh my gosh.
here's the
Oh wow, that's great. Wow, you got so much in that 10 minutes on that guy, and it's definitely colorful. That is not
yeah.
just a gray rhino right there. That is pink, it's
Yeah, and for
purple.
some reason it's a little bit brighter than what's showing of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
purple.
Yeah, and when if you
Yeah.
share on Instagram after too, it's always fun because we can always see them a little bit, a little bit better. But I can see that it's like a much more vibrant, pink and stuff too. And you captured the shape so
Yeah.
well. Did you just go straight in with your brush?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I love his little face. Oh, these are great. Thank you so much.
This is fun. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you did great job. Really good. I love it. Awesome. Okay, so I think we have Genevieve up next. There you are.
Yes, I'm very, very scared, scared of
Oh my
sharing
gosh.
today.
Please no.
It was
Don't be scared. We're supposed
I
to
guess
fail, right? We're supposed to fail. So that's the
it
goal
was
today.
really experimental and
Yeah.
very, how do you say? I really didn't want to look at what I was doing
Oh, that's awesome.
while I was doing it.
Yeah, no,
So
because you felt like that. I know what you mean, like the discomfort of being like, this is not what I'm used to. This is not, but that's great. Like you hit the mark on exactly where we want to be if that's where your mindset was. So that's perfect.
I think this page is fun because I'm gonna
Oh
unflute.
yeah. Yeah, if you turn your background off.
So
Perfect.
this is
Oh
the first
wow.
and the last, right? So
Oh,
it started pretty cautious and then it ended
Yeah.
up like
That is awesome. I just absolutely love that. I love how you put the two together too, because you can see like how you loosened up as you
yeah.
went along. And that, I mean, the pangolin is really cute, but the rhino is just gorgeous. And I just love all
It's
of those
colorful.
facial marks. Yeah. I mean,
And it might be the only one that I truly, that and the geometric
yeah.
shapes is the only one that I really followed the word and
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. Because some of them, it was hard. It was hard to like, I know. I had trouble with the swirly. I just did like some marks at the end and I was like, I think I could have
whoa.
incorporated this. Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah. Like super simplified shapes.
yeah.
Beautiful.
I
love
started with
that.
the acrylic marker and it was so long because mine are fine points. I was like, oh my goodness. So I went oil pastel and I went over everything.
That was a good choice. Yeah. I think a fine point acrylic marker would be a bit
But that's
frustrating.
yes, and that means also messy
Yes.
forever.
Yep.
And then
Great.
it's not in order, I'm sorry, but this is the swirlies.
Oh
It doesn't really
yeah. Love that. Oh my gosh, those are so fun. Yeah, that definitely has that swirly marks, like super energetic. And it's cool because it's a different, like each one of these, it almost is like a different artist. But they all have like a cohesiveness too. But I love that because it's like you're just exploring different ways of, of approaching it. I love it. It's fantastic.
And those are the distorted. I guess it's
So
distorted
cool.
because I really didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And hazy,
Oh, I love it.
messy.
The African painted dog, it looks like I don't know why, but it's giving me like a pixelated, not like that the image is pixelated, but like it has like a quality like when you distort like an image just into simple colors, then they have like sort of a pixelation to them. And I don't know why that one's like, it has like a weird, like a distorted quality to it like that. In the painterly marks, it's really pretty.
Yeah, I think it's definitely distorted, but that's not what I wanted to do as distorted.
Oh, achieved.
That was
okay. Really good. These are wonderful. I can't wait to see them too. I'm pushing you. I'm like, I can't wait to see them on Instagram because I think that no, I mean, they're beautiful. You can see it already through just the screen here.
We'll see if I share.
I love it. Do you feel like you picked up some things that you carry through in experimenting in the future?
Yeah, I started because I'm new at drawing and painting, and I started to feel that I really like the messy marks, like the brush marks, and it came out like this throughout my paintings today. My drawings today was like, really? I think I like messy.
Yeah, you can definitely see that, like that looseness coming in there. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So we have, I think, Valerie, you're up next. Let me find you. Hi, Valerie.
Hello from France.
Oh, hi. Oh, fun. That's so lovely. So what time you guys
can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you all right. So how did it go for you today?
I'm not speak really good English, so sorry. I will do my best to share my work today.
No worries at
so
all.
the pangolin.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. I can't believe 5 minutes. That's beautiful. Wow.
Where is the head and where is the back of the pangolin? I don't know.
No, but I think because like it focuses on the head. Like I can see his eyes. I can definitely see his head.
Okay.
And his nose, So, and I like that's where some of the detail comes in. I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful, stunning.
Thank you. After that, the zebra.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. Yeah,
that's
and I
so
love
pretty.
That's gorgeous. And I love the background.
Yes, thank you. I only use watercolor because I'm not comfortable with mixed media, and it was very hard for me to choose the tools, and I'm a bit lost sometimes. So I always took my my watercolors.
Yeah. Well, you're very much, you can see that you have a lot of like control with the watercolors. Like you know how to make it be wild, but also be precise, which is it's very difficult with that medium, and get dark and light and all those sorts of things. So you have a lot of skill in there. That's wonderful. It's really, really beautiful.
After it was a little landscape.
Ah, very nice.
Not very good for me.
No,
I don't like it very much.
Yeah, I know. Are you comfortable with landscapes? Do you like sketching landscapes, or is that one of the subjects that, like, how is it as a
Yes,
subject?
but the word geometrical that you said blocked me, and I couldn't do something great with that, and so
I know what you mean. I think that word with certain styles, it can be very like, you know, because it's very hard when you have a very soft and flowy style, and geometric is like the opposite of that. So that's a really interesting thing I know what you mean, that like you felt that block. I definitely had that moment multiple times today with some of the words. So you know, but it's still like a really beautiful image. So I think that's you know, one of those things that was probably the word that kind of just like that brought the discomfort.
Okay, here is the dog, or the name. I forget the name.
The African wild dog. Yeah. Oh, cool.
African wild dog. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. I love all the texture.
I work with I use Inktense pencils for the drawing.
Yeah.
And after that, I use a little bit watercolor or splashes
that's great.
on the drawing.
I love it. Yeah, it has a lot of energy, and that's cool that you were able to bring in something like play with that medium
and the lion was made with ink and watercolor. I don't like him very much, not because I used ink and it was hard to make lions with ink.
Yeah, but I can see the I feel like a little bit more like your marks have that looseness, you know, to them, but like they have a continuity to them too. I get like a lot of, do you do like a lot of blind contour drawing? Or like continuous line drawing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see that.
A blind, sometimes I didn't look at what I do, and I like this.
Yeah, no, and I love how then the color doesn't have to go in the line too. Like they have that that play between them. It's really beautiful.
And the last one with ink and pencil and a bit watercolor too.
Oh wow. Gorgeous. And I love that blue color that comes in too, right at the base. That really, like, that totally makes it, you know, just like brings out this really, really rich, beautiful color. I love.
Thank you. It was great.
When I see your stuff with the watercolor.
It was great to take part on this Patreon session. I'm not. It's the first time for me, so it's not.
Oh, you're already a pro. And you know, the thing about these sessions that I love when I started is that like you can come in and out. Like if you're in the mood today to be active and on, and then next time you could just sit in the background, you know, or you could watch it on recording. So it's always like how you're feeling that day, however much you want to interact. We're just happy to have you. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, and greetings to all the participants of the group. The member of the group. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job. Okay, so we have Kiki is next. I'm going to replace the spotlight. Hi, Kiki.
I have to say, Valerie's a hard act to follow.
I know, right? I was like, at least I'm not going after Valerie. That was amazing. All right, let's see what you did today. I know it's beautiful.
Be hard to.
Yeah, maybe hold it a little bit closer. Is it possible? I know it's hard because you can't see if you cover your face with a sketchbook. It's hard for you to see the screen. Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. So cute.
Yeah, he was gonna. Yeah, I'm in Oregon, so I had to get up early, 5 o'clock. So I'm definitely not 100% myself.
You're in my brain space where it's like the brain's not quite woken up yet. I know what you mean. Oh my gosh, I love this though. Wow. You know what's cool about this one is that it's like he has like a transparency to him. That should have been the word for yours. But it kind of gives that hazy quality too. Because the way that the stripes like overlap, it's really beautiful.
Thank you. That was fun. I had fun with him. I really got into the sloppy today. Yeah. Sloppy was sort of my
like just go for it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They have such good expressions. I love the ears too. You're like, yeah.
They're just really goofy looking. I thought this was a perfect word for them, distorted. Yeah. Because they're so goofy looking.
Oh yeah, the ears are definitely not in proportion to anything that makes any sense. These are.
And I got stumped. I really got stumped on the geometric, and I think that I really could relate that I'm not a geometric person. So this was kind of tough for me to.
You know, I think I could totally understand. This is beautiful, by the way, like regardless if it's geometric, the way that the colors blend, and that like sort of soft and hard edges is gorgeous. And I can totally relate to the geometric thing. I think Genevieve, to me, like you really, your oil pastel, I was like, oh, that makes sense, you know. But these are gorgeous. I mean, even if the word didn't ring anything to you, the way that you sketch it is still like absolutely beautiful.
And here's my lions.
Wow. Yeah. You got the swirly right there. His mane is like whoosh, you know, that's gorgeous.
It was fun. That was definitely for me the most I was able to connect to that word.
Oh gosh.
So yeah.
Absolutely. And you captured that quality in the face, the serene face. You got it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to look at it and be like, what is it? I'm like, is it the eyes? Is it the like, oh, super cute. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love how you brought the orange out on the horns. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, and I like the shadow on him too.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. So
Yeah.
not very colorful. It was fun to get a little color in there.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes it's like the subtle colors are the ones that make you look, you know, and I can see this color marks throughout it. And I know you'll probably be posting too after. And so we can, you know, it's harder to see on the screen, like some of the more subtle color things, but those are just as beautiful. Like it doesn't have to be as vibrant. But they can pull you in. I just love it. Wonderful work.
Really fun. I just totally love doing this with all of you. And I love seeing everybody's posts. It's really been super fun to be in this community. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so does anybody else, okay, I see Fene. I see you, and Aga, and if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, tell me when I get to you. So we'll do, let's see here, view for me. I need to see speaker. Okay. All right, you're up. It's Fene?
Yeah, it's Fene.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Look at that eye. I love how you exaggerated the eye because it was just such a sweet like expression and you just really pulled it out. That is beautiful. These are so gorgeous, guys. I'm telling you, sometimes I want to do these sessions again, like after I see what you guys do, because I'm like, that's so cool. I love it. Wow. Gorgeous. That is really nice. And I definitely feel the hazy quality too in that one, that softness, you know, which is really beautiful.
I read about charcoal, but it caused a bit because I dropped charcoal and I couldn't find it anymore. And yeah.
Yeah, it can be quite a mess, but
I think the dog was next.
Yeah, the dog was next. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Your compositions are so beautiful. I love how you simplified and like kind of just came in, you know, on something. And oh my gosh, like the fur has so much movement to it. It's beautiful.
It didn't want to dry, so I just started another quick sketch.
Oh, cool.
Something, but it's I wanted to go back to this one and add a bit more
when it's dry. Yeah.
It's not even dried yet now, so it's
still dry. What mediums are you using?
A lot of acrylic today, but also new colors, some markers. I really like the Colin.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, different pencils.
Mix of everything.
I really like landscape.
Oh, fun. Yeah, this is
I couldn't find something to work with the word, but I thought I'd just have some fun with the landscape.
Yeah. No, it's gorgeous. And actually there's like a simplification. I don't know if you were like doing that on purpose thinking of the word, but there's a simplification of the overall big shapes, even though that they have texture and detail in them, that is actually really beautiful and kind of, I can see it has that quality to it that can be more geometric in the fact that there's that simplification. It's beautiful. So
but also this needed to be, I was just peeking through the paper and add a bit of the line.
Yeah.
It's
oh, good.
Because having this one still up and then trying to draw like on this side.
Like I have to balance, and then everything on this side is moving. Oh, gorgeous. And then oh wow, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love it. Again, too, like the subtle colors, you know, but they pull you in with the pink and the blue. Oh my gosh. And I love how you captured like the wrinkles, you know, because it totally gives that rhino like, you know, expression to it. You have a really good way of capturing the expressions. That's beautiful work. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to make it really hard to go. I can't take it. It's so lovely. This is how these sessions are. I swear sometimes when we focus on doing bad stuff, it's like the most beautiful things happen. And all of the work has this looseness to it, this energy. And so many times that's what pulls you in. It's not about it being perfect or precise. It's that when you can let go and get that, I don't know what they call it. I think there's a word, Gestalt. I think it's a German word. If I'm not like if I might be getting that right. But maybe that's the word that it's like kind of like the whole comes together, and the little pieces and parts, and there's like something more seen than maybe what is there. Anyways, I don't know if I'm getting the word right, if that's the right one, but beautiful stuff. All right. So I know, Aga, you're coming. Let me see, replace your spotlight. Okay, perfect. Speaker. Oh my gosh, these are so perfect. I love how you put it in a spread too, because it's like
clearly I just couldn't let go today, so they're just normal animals.
No, but they're all actually really lovely, and it's like a scientific journal. Like you went to the desert and you were like, I saw this and I saw this and I saw this, you know, like the studies. And then my gosh, that the desert one up top is like, it's stunning too. I love the shapes that you captured in that. That's gorgeous.
I think that's the only word I could relate to, because that's how my brain works. Very geometric.
Yeah. It's so funny how all of us, like, you know, approach like those different words had a different, like, oh yeah, I can do this one. And then other ones were like kind of tripped you up. So
yeah,
these are great though. I love the dog too.
Thank you.
And the rhino. I love them. I like
looks
the
like
green
a dinosaur,
and blue there.
but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the green. I love when using like that bluey purple in shadows, because a lot of times people use like black or something like that, and it's so much richer of a shadow, you know, when it's a color. And I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, I see Genevieve has to go. I think she already left, but bye, Genevieve, if you're watching this on the replay. Really wonderful work. I feel sort of sad that I have to go after all of you guys. I'll just go in the beginning next time. No, it's fine. Can you guys see me, by the way? Am I spotlighted now for you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. By the way, wait, did anybody else want to share? Let me ask again before. I think that's it. Okay. And then at the very end, okay, let me pull up, let me go in order here. Whoops, some of my stuff is sticky. Uh-oh. Really? Uh-oh. I have a page that is like almost fully stuck. Oh yeah, I had a bleed through. That's okay. Should have probably kept it open. That happens. Okay, so I was very tired on this one. The pangolin. And then yeah, you guys are already starting to see this bleed through. Don't worry, that's gonna show up more. I just like destroyed like 3 of my pages with it. That's okay though. It doesn't bother me that much.
He's cute.
Yeah, I did kind of like him. He has a cute little expression to it. But I tried to like simplify the textures on him a little bit more. Okay, and then this one I actually really liked, but I've messed up I have the bleed through that actually kind of tore up the pages. But this was the hazy zebra. And I feel like I got some fun textures going on in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I was using the pastels over the watercolor, and then I came back in with the eraser, and it made it like kind of just do some fun stuff. So, and over here too. So I was actually really enjoying that. And then I like the gold purple on the face. I was happy with where that was kind of going. But I might have to do a little recovery effort on the bleed through, or just leave it because that one got sticky. And then my mouse dog, which is my distortion. He's like huge ears, and I don't even know what's happening. But no, I definitely started to feel a little bit more loose here, which I think was good, but I was like confused at the same time.
I like looks like he's laughing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he does. He's like, don't take my ears seriously. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, he's got a funny expression, that's for sure. And then these guys, this is the one that I feel like I like the softness on them, but the swirly, I just like did these marks and I was like, no, I think I could have incorporated it in a little bit differently. like more in the mains and everything. So I did though. I liked one thing that I figured out in this one is I put the mane down using the gelato, and then I was using that watercolor around it. And because this is water soluble, when I would hit the edge of it, it would kind of like bleed a little bit in a really beautiful way. So I realized that I really like this medium with the watercolor because you can like play with that softness when the water dissolves this, which that was like a new learning tool. But mine don't have that. They don't have that serene look. They just look, I don't know, like, oh, like what's going, they look kind of like not very smart. I think lines are supposed to look smarter than that. So I'll work on that, work on the expressions. Oh, I have the geometric one. Yeah, that's in the other book. Okay, so that I was trying to simplify the shapes a little bit more, I guess, geometrically, but I was using mediums that I normally do. And then I have some textures in there. So I don't know, this one kind of stumped me. It was a little bit
It's
rough.
pretty. I like the blue you added too.
Yeah.
It's like the blue.
Yeah, this one, that's that Lago, this marker. I think it's like Lago Blue Pastel by Molotow. But yeah, it was that was a fun one. It was okay. I feel though more like the words like soft and hazy, you know, those tended to inspire me a little bit more, and colorful. But the geometric one also kind of threw me for a loop. And then last but not least, the rhino. I actually really like, I normally don't draw with that royal blue, but I really like how it kind of pops out it's like a color pop. And his face, I don't know, that doesn't look like a rhino face to me. I think some of you guys captured the face a little bit more. I struggled with the face, but I did really like bringing in the color to his body, and like thinking more about value rather than exactly what the colors were. So that was a good one.
Is that soft pastel?
This is the watercolor, the Kuretake watercolor set, and then color pencil. And then I did bring a little bit, like there's some color pencil marks over top the watercolor, but yeah, you can kind of see closer up, like see the cauliflower things I was getting with the watercolor.
Yeah, but it is more opaque.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely allows you to get like, yeah, to get opaque. It is more, to me, it's more just like using a gouache than it is a watercolor, which I really like, to be honest. So, all right, that's what I have today. Thank you guys so much. That was really fun. I think we all probably, here, let me go back to, I have to remove spotlight on me. How do I do that? There we go. No? Am I spotlighted for you guys or no?
No.
Okay. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a good time today, and got a little loose and a little wild, and felt comfortable kind of stretching yourselves a bit today. So I also want to say that if you guys share this stuff on social media, whether you're doing this on the replay or obviously you guys live today, make sure you tag me, because if you, and use the hashtag TJ Marston Patreon, but you have to tag me to see it, because sometimes now the way that Instagram works with the hashtags are, it only shows me like top recent ones, and it doesn't always show me every single one. So if I search by hashtag, I don't always see every single one. So make sure that you definitely tag me, because I should see you there. And if for every reason I don't see your post, like you don't see me sharing it or anything like that, just always shoot me, like send me a message or something like that. Sometimes it's weird. They don't always, sometimes tags don't show up. It's just kind of like random glitches in Instagram, or maybe I missed it on a scroll or something like that. So you can always hit me up. And it's never on purpose, always an accident if it happens. And I hope you guys have a good day. And thank you guys so much for joining and getting wild and very inspiring to me today, because that was a lot of fun seeing what you guys did.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
It was fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Awesome.
everyone.
Bye.